Welcome everyone. Welcome to Butcher and the Beard. I'm David Butcher. That's John Shanley. How is
What's
everyone
up?
doing? Man, February
Going on
1st
this
already.
one?
February 1st. Oh my God, the
Oh my
January's
God.
already
Yep.
gone.
Knicks won
Jeez.
14 games in January. Let's hope we keep that momentum up,
Yeah,
but
man. No,
it's going to be
I'm
hard. They play better teams.
I'm glad. I'm
Uh,
glad the Heat are out of the January slump and into the winning column finally after
yeah,
the day before January ends. They're trying to bring February and love into the same rotation. I like it. I like it. I could love them
yeah.
winning.
Well, it was just a matter of time, and they did play a good team.
Yeah.
The Kings were pretty good, so it was a good win for them. They were at home, but you needed it. You lost
Yeah.
what, six in a row,
Ugh,
whatever. It's not
yeah, I think it
easy.
was six. That's too many. It might have been
Yeah.
seven. It might have been
I
seven.
all I know is that I, I went on last night and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna watch some NBA games. I'm like, let me look at what are the what should be the good games. So I turn on Mavericks Timberwolves. I'm like, oh, that should be good. No Luca. I'm like, come on, no Luca, no Kyrie. I'm like, all right, whatever. And Timberwolves beat the hell out of them anyway. So I'm like, all right, let me turn on. Um, who was it? It was see, okay. Uh, Nuggets and Thunder. I'm like, oh, they're tied for first place. This should be great. No Joker. Like, you kidding me? I'm like, these are marquee matchups. They mean a lot, and your star players aren't playing. This was what the whole thing was supposed to be about. Making these guys play, not miss so much time. But then here
Yeah.
we have a bunch of marquee matchups. You know, the other ones, the late game. Well, the Phoenix and the Nets, like, that's not really a marquee matchup. Yeah, it's Kevin Durant returning to Brooklyn, but the Suns are a good team and the Nets are not. So you knew that was going to happen. And then you had, which was surprising, Milwaukee and Damian Lillard going back to Portland. So you thought that Dame would probably have a triumphant return, but they lost, which was really, really terrible because Portland is not a good team.
Yeah.
Portland only had, like, I think 9 wins on the season. Now they have 10, and I guess they got 15 wins, but still, you when you're 32 and 15 and you're going against someone that's 14 and 33, you
Yeah.
would think that you would beat that team. But yeah, they did not. And I'm happy about it because now the Knicks are literally just one game behind Milwaukee for the second seed in the
Yeah,
East.
that's crazy.
It is crazy. I like it though. I don't know what's going to happen. We play the Pacers tonight and we're still shorthanded. I think if OG Anunoby plays tonight, we have a good shot. But anything has happened. But when you win 8 games in a row, 9 games in a row, eventually you're gonna come down. I hope it's not soon. I want them to just keep making that number double digits and whatnot. But
Yeah.
we'll see. It's at the point now where I'm just starting to look at the whole thing as like, okay, now it's not a matter of what seed are we going to be in, who are we going to play,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, for sure.
I've got this feeling, and I had this feeling around this time last year that the Knicks' first round opponent was going to be Cleveland, and this year, as I look at it, I have a strange feeling that it's going to be Indiana.
Mm.
Somehow or another, it's going to align that we're going to play Indiana because we traded them Obi Toppin at the beginning of the year, and they're hot right now. And you know what? They are healthier than us. They might beat us, but I feel like in the 7 game, if we're all healthy and they're healthy, if we get them in a first round series, we're gonna take them out. We're
Oh
gonna.
yeah, you guys are playing good. That trade was beneficial for you guys for sure. Like
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
it's
Absolutely.
change day. It was some
Mm-hmm.
interesting beginning of it. You're like, huh, do I really want to lose these two young superstars that are in the making? Or well, look at it
Right.
now. Look at it now.
Yeah.
It's
Exactly.
it's the gel
It's
has really well, like we said. I think in the earlier shows, like when defense comes into there, like it's a little easier for them to gel because they're playing more defense. So hey, play defense, pass me the ball. You know what I mean? Give it to my playmakers and stuff like that. So
right. Your offense comes from your defense. Like,
yeah,
ever since that trade, they have the best defensive rating in the league. They're holding they uh, against Utah. That Utah scored 101 points,
yeah,
but if they would have got under for the month, they would have literally ended it like a defensive opponent holding opponents under 100 points. But
yeah.
it
That's
was literally
crazy.
like 100.1. which in today's NBA, where you turn on a score and everyone's scoring like 140, 150,
Yeah.
150, when you're holding a team to like literally like, 100 points a game, in today's NBA, that's incredible.
Yeah, he
Um,
had that for a couple games, and they're like, oh, and then all of a sudden
they did.
they got whooped. I'm like, okay, that's
I know.
nice.
Well, I mean, it happens. Like you go through stretches where it's good and it's bad and it's inconsistent, and you have that with young players. Like the Heat actually have a lot of younger players on their team, even
Yeah,
though the main core is older, and you're going to get those inconsistencies. We did that at the beginning of the year. We started out good defensively, and then, we were giving up. Like we gave up like 143 points to Milwaukee in one of those, tournament games, and like it's like they shot the lights out and this and that. And then, like, we make the trade, and then all of a sudden you have more veterans, guys who are 26, 27, been in the league for 5, 6 years, and they know what to do, and they've been through this before, and they just know their role. And now all of a sudden your defense is a lot more consistent.
yeah,
And then you watch these Villanova guys running all over the place, stealing the ball. Like, it's not even like they're, you know, because there's different ways to hold people down. One of it is, you turn it into an every possession game and you slow the ball down and you just, you know, you wait until the shot clock's down to like 2 before you take a shot.
yeah.
But they're not. The Knicks aren't doing that. They're just straight up defending you like hard. Like they don't really do a lot of zone. They do a lot of man to man, but they have such good on ball defenders and guys that can fight through screens that they make it difficult for you. And then they have guards who can rebound, and they have, when like, okay, we're missing size because we lost Mitchell Robinson and we lost Julius Randle, guys who could rebound, big men. And now, but our guards can get men, big rebounds. Josh
Yeah.
Hart's averaging like 10 boards a game over the last 3 games since Julius is getting hurt, and he's only like 6'5". So like, these guys know how to rebound. They know how to get to the loose balls, and it's fun to watch. So
Yeah, that's awesome. I hope that
keep it
he,
up.
I hope that he'd get that little fire back after that win. So
Yeah,
we'll see.
we might be first round headed to the first
No,
round
no,
matchup. And
I don't want
listen,
that. I want to do a
we
championship
beat,
round
we beat
before
us
we.
last year, but I don't know. We have a shot this year. This is,
I
but
need Butler.
here's
I
the
need
thing.
Jimmy to be butlering now, but I get it. He does. He waits. He waits. He plays good enough to get us to the freaking playoffs that he said he should
I'm
do.
actually kind of. This is what makes me nervous about the Heat. They're old school, so
Yeah.
if you go into a series with them, you ain't coming out healthy.
No, that's
Like
it.
even if you win, you're gonna be beat up. You're gonna roll an ankle. You're gonna dislocate a shoulder, like just like the other day.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It's not so much that anybody did anything dirty. It's just when you're both physical teams that
Yeah.
are gonna beat you down, like
Yeah. What's the name?
things
Hurt
like
his
that.
shoulder with the Heat, right?
Exactly. He rolled his ankle against the Heat last year. He
Yeah.
both he hurt his shoulder this year. I guess that's Julius's. I get.
Mm.
Well, I think it was last year in a regular season game. He hit a game winner at the buzzer in Miami to beat them. So I feel like the Miami karma is like, well, we're gonna hurt you now next time you come here. Which whatever.
Yeah.
Uh, Good news for Julius is he should be back at the end of the month. So
Yeah.
I'm
That's
looking
good.
forward to that. But Knicks are on a tear. I can't wait to see them tonight.
Yeah, no,
Um,
for sure. And I like a healthy team. I like to play healthy teams because I don't want to have any
you
of
want
that.
to you want to be you want to beat them at their best. Now
Yeah.
in the playoffs, if their best player ain't playing, maybe you want to take that advantage. And
Yeah,
because
you
at
got to
the end
take
of
the
the day,
advantage, but you
you
still
got to
want to
take
win
the advantage. You
big
still want to win.
because if you don't win big, then you feel like, oh well, we would have won, we would have lost if he was in there.
Hmm?
So
We'll see. We'll see how it all plays out.
yeah,
But for right now, we're just enjoying basketball season.
yeah,
I'm enjoying basketball season.
yeah. I'm trying to enjoy it
Naysayers will
again.
be like, well, it all just matters about the win. No, it doesn't, dude. Enjoy the journey, because you know what? At some point, if you don't win the whole thing, your team's going to be eliminated, and then
Yep.
you're not going to be enjoying it right now. But
Yeah.
right now, we're in February. My team's just won 14 games in the last month. They're playing great basketball. I'm enjoying every single minute of it, and I'm not going to be an naysayer and be like, well, if they don't win a championship, then it was a losing season. No,
No.
it
Yeah.
wasn't. This is a great season. We literally in back-to-back games played the two teams that made the NBA Finals last year, and we blew them out.
Yeah.
Like we destroyed them.
Yeah, you beat the
So,
Heat and
you
you beat
know,
the Nuggets.
right, we beat the defending champs by 38 points, and
Yeah,
then we beat the Miami Heat the night before by like 15 or 16 points,
yeah,
whatever it was. So we're rolling right now, and like those games are special, and you should enjoy them. So like maybe we won't win a championship, but you know what? We have a shot, and believe me, we do have a shot. Just like a lot of these other teams, and it's interesting because I wonder about what their mentality is about it, like the team's mentality. Like if you talk to Miami, they're going to be like championship or bust, and they believe that they will win a championship. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? You talk to like the Lakers or the old school the Warriors, even though they're not they're in the standings, they would tell you like our expectation is to win a championship this year.
yeah,
And you have teams, that do expect, like the Celtics and like the Bucks and the Sixers and guys who have MVP talent, guys they expect to win the championships. Then you have teams that are like, well, we just want to improve. Like I wonder if the mentality for the Knicks is we have a shot to win a championship,
yeah,
or we just want to slowly improve every day and see wherever it takes us.
yeah.
And I feel like that's the right way to look at it. But once you get enough talent, like there's no reason why you can't, and Brunson's playing unbelievable.
Yeah,
So
I think that's how you have to look at it, right? You start as a young
yeah,
team. Yeah, we're
right.
just trying to improve. We're trying to win. But
Hmm.
if you've got a really good shot and you got a good roster, your mentality better be I want to win a championship. I don't care what the hell these next sayers say. You know what I mean? We got enough talent on this team, and we're and every teammate's gonna be like boxing up the other person. Like yeah, this guy. No, they know when they got a good talented team. You know what I mean? They're not dumb. They're not gonna be like. They're like, oh, Jim over there, he's balling, you know what I mean? But he needs to get better, you know what I mean? He needs to improve his other game like that. But you get like a
Yeah.
Tatum on your team, and you're like, okay, we got some good talent here. Okay, we got a Brunson now. We got some good, you know what I mean? We could probably win this, you know what I mean? So, like they
Well,
say,
and,
man.
and, and, and they're talking like they don't even mention the world championship. They say we try to improve everything and we just want to win. And we're
Yeah,
gonna concentrate on the X's and O's and we're not thinking about a championship in the end of the year. We're concentrating on our next game.
yeah,
One game at a time, one possession at a time, and stuff like that. That's the right things to say. And if you can actually mentally do that, then that's how you win.
yeah, for sure.
Um,
Because everyone knows what you think even the worst team of the year, like the Lions, the Detroit Pistons, you think they're like they're thinking they don't want to win a championship? Of
oh
course they
yeah,
do. You know what I mean? Everybody
but you
wants to
have
win a championship.
but you have to work to get there.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, you got a lot of work for
there's
them.
a couple of good things that I've read out of the Knicks, and which like makes me fucking laugh because the first thing is back when they traded OG, they had won their second game by I think they blew out the Sixers, and then they had practice the next day. And the night before, like in the press conference, the coach Thibodeau was just like, "Yeah, these guys they're all playing well. I really love the way their chemistry is, and it's really beautiful basketball to watch." So the next day, the Knicks had their first practice, and Julius Randle came out, and the reporter's like, "Hey, last night, Thibodeau said you guys had really good chemistry and this and that, and you guys are playing beautiful basketball." And Julius's response was, "Really? He said that?" He's like, "Cause he's just got done cursing us out."
Yeah, yeah, for
And
sure, for
I
sure.
laughed at that. I laughed at that because that's a sign of a good coach.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? He's going to talk you up to the media and he's going to cuss you out. Like, don't get on your high horse because blah 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 blah. And I love the chemistry with these guys. So I read this yesterday and I was dying. Jalen Brunson was had an interview or whatever, and
yeah,
on his interview he calls Josh Hart, and he says, and Josh answers the phone. He's like, "What do you want?" And then Jalen's like, "I'm doing an interview. If you were guarding me, how would you stop me?" So Josh paused for a second. And he says, "Well, you're going to do 14 pivots and shot fakes before you shoot, jump into people, get fouls." And so Jalen's like, Brunson's like, "So basically, you can't stop me." And Josh Hart's like, "With you being able to play so well off 2 feet, it's tough. At some point, I'm going to jump and foul you." So Jalen's like, "I'm letting you know this is really professional of you. I'm really happy that you're maturing." And Josh is like, well, you didn't hear my first answer. He's like, because I paused. He's like, well, what was your immature answer? He's like, I said I smacked the shit out of your fat ass head. and, and then Josh Hart's wife starts laughing in the background. And then Brunson's like, yo, Shannon, it can't be that funny.
That's good. That's good. That's
That's
love right
good.
there.
Like his wife, like when Josh Hart first got traded to the Knicks, like he was already married. Brunson got married this past weekend, so like they just finished this game, and then they go over to Josh's house and they're gonna play Xbox all night. And she's
Wow.
like, "You just played a game together. You're here." Then like, what, woman? You're like, this is what we do. We're gonna. He's like, we could be out going to a club, but no, we're gonna sit here and play video games all night and talk shit to each other.
Yeah.
That's
We're gonna play
that's
some.
that's that's best friends right there, man.
Yeah.
That's chemistry on and off the court, man. You can't ask for something. You can't ask for a
No.
better relationship than that from your players.
They're gonna play some NBA 2K right after they played real
Absolutely.
basketball.
And you know what? Even though these guys are professional athletes, these are conversations we have with our loved ones and our
Yeah.
our wives and girlfriends and whatnot when we're in relationships. It's like,
Yeah.
there are guys in the NBA or here that you work with. They're going out to the bars. They're going
Yeah.
out to the clubs. They're trying to do
Yeah.
this whatever. No. What are our boys doing? We're going home. We're gonna play video games. We're gonna talk shit. We're gonna go home. We're gonna
And you got to
do
remember
what.
these guys look like they're like old people, but they're really young adults. Like they're
Right.
25 to 26 years old. Like
Yeah.
we think that they're older because they're playing professional sports, but they're
Right.
they're
But
literally kids.
it just shows to their actual maturity when it comes to
Yeah.
real life things. Like you can be a wise ass and kid around and tell somebody he's got a fat head and fat
Yeah.
face and whatever, but you're professional. That's the kind of athletes you want. Do you really
Yeah.
want a John Morant going out to the clubs waving his guns, or do you
No.
want Jalen Brunson hanging out with his college buddy, who's now his professional buddy, and playing video games at his
Oh
wife's?
yeah. That's
I'm
way
sure they
better.
go out to dinner all the night.
Yeah, go to
They know
dinner. Go get a
how,
glass of wine or something and relax. Like that's it,
they
man.
know how to
Like
handle themselves outside the court, and
yeah.
that's another big part of the culture. When we talk about rebuilding a culture with the certain types of players that you want guys with big work ethics and people who aren't going to get into trouble outside of work because this is their craft and they just want to work at it and they just
Yeah.
want to win, and that's what it's
Especially in New
about.
York, man.
Oh,
Especially
they
in New
love
York, man. You go out to the club.
it.
Oh, here comes a storyline. Oh, Brunson's not making threes because he's always at the club. You know what I mean? It's
Exactly. He's not that guy.
yeah,
He's not that flash Allen
yeah,
Iverson, even though he's putting up the numbers that are close to that. But
yeah,
like, he's probably he probably wakes up in the morning, goes to the gym, then
yep,
he's goes to the practice facility, and then he's working with one of the coaches about something, and he's working on something, and then he's exercising, and then he's relaxing, and he's he does the work. He puts his body on the line constantly.
yeah,
So he's probably doing things to help his body recover from all the physical play and all this other stuff. And then, he comes to the shootouts, and then there's a game or there's a practice. Thibodeau's would tell them, and this was stories from last year. He's like, I tell them that they have a night off, and what would they do? They'd still show up at like whatever 8 o'clock in the morning to the practice facility, and they're either watching film or they're practicing on something. They're working on their
yeah.
free throws, they're working on their threes, they're doing different things. So that's the kind of work ethic that you want and the off court stuff that you want. So couldn't be more proud of this team and enjoy it. And we'll see what happens. Like I haven't heard anything about any of them going out to clubs and stuff like that. Maybe the guys on the bench that don't
Yeah.
play.
Hey.
That's going to be
No,
the
but
best.
I would hope not either because I want them in the gym with them. You know what I mean? It's all about learning, man. Like, you go to us playing sports as a young profession. It was
Yeah.
like, it was like, hey, do this, 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 and this. And, me playing more football, I needed the whole team to do more of my things more than like strength training. But like, I watch people on TikTok all the time that are like, literally like, oh, a day in the life of a basketball A1 or D1, not A1, I don't know why I said A1, D1. And then they show you, it's like, yo, if you're a young person watching this with us right now, take that, man. You get so much beneficial stuff for being like a big athlete. Like, oh, here you got a nutrition, go talk to her or him. Yeah, you got a sport medicine guy, go talk. You know what I mean? There's so much you can do that like it's so awesome. Like I wish that I continued my careering days and played like college and benefited from that. I should have. Like I wish, my grades were terrible at one point.
I was definitely an old soul baseball player because after baseball I played in the beer league softball leagues,
Yeah,
and like I was good, and I went to the gym and I worked out, and
yeah,
like I could smack the crap out of the ball, and I was a really really good player, and but afterwards, like I wasn't like watching my body and doing all this stuff. I
yeah,
played with people that were like that. No, I was at the bar and I was drinking beers and I was eating hot wings, and I still do that today, which is probably why I have some medical problems that I deal with. But it is what it is. That's that was I was like the Babe Ruth. I was smoking cigars. I was eating wings and drinking beers, and that's how I played. But I couldn't keep up with some of these athletes today, man. It's crazy because you have to, in order to be an athlete today, you have to have that regimen and just be like
yeah.
super like ripped and watch your body and this and that. But you know what? It pays off. Look at LeBron James. Like LeBron James takes care of his body. He's huge, and now he's like at 39 years old, he's playing like he's a good 20 years old. So
Yeah, it's
you know
crazy.
obviously they're the people who do that, and it pays off.
Yeah, yeah.
I
But
never
I,
got
I
into
don't I don't have $1 million to help my body like LeBron does.
yeah, but I didn't do anything to get that either.
Yeah,
So
sure. I
here I
guess
am. Here we are doing what we got to do,
here
and
I am
we're doing this.
with an inhaler.
Yeah. Well, you have shit. I
Nah,
don't know,
I had
man.
asthma. I had asthma when I was growing up actually, but it was I don't know, it was called something else because it was like you grow out of it kind of asthma, and then I like
I,
it was terrible. I was like I couldn't breathe after like doing anything, and then I like
you know,
grew out of it. And I'm like, okay, that's okay. I don't know how that even works. I don't know like how that
when I
even.
lived in New York, growing up, I had terrible seasonal allergies, and like
Yeah,
every time, like April, like the first 2 weeks of May, it would be horrible. Like my eyes were all red, so I looked like I was like a crackhead.
yeah.
And like I had asthma, like I couldn't breathe when the pollen counts
Oh
were
yeah,
really
the
high.
pollen down here is terrible too. Oh my.
So when I moved down here, like the time of year where that happens is February, which is a lot earlier than May, but it was not as bad. But
Yeah,
also like, um, I we live out like we're surrounded by water, so like,
yeah.
that kind of dilutes some of the stuff. But there were times like there were a couple of weeks in February since I've lived down here for almost 10 years now,
Yeah,
where it has been pretty bad, but nowhere near as bad as it was
but I
where
feel
I grew
like
up.
you in the city?
No, I was Long Island, so that
Oh,
was like
okay. Yeah, because
suburbs.
I couldn't even
But
imagine.
I had relatives upstate New York, and if
Yeah,
I went up there, even in the summer, oh, forget it. I had asthma. It was terrible. Like the
uh,
pollen just killed me up there. But like that's more nature, like full mountains full of
yeah,
trees and stuff. But I didn't have a chance, you know.
yeah. Because that's what I think about when I think about New York. I've only been one time, but man, it's like you're breathing in like smog of freaking smoke from the
Yeah,
buildings,
no,
from the buses.
yeah, that's not New York. That's New York City, and even that's
Yeah,
not as bad anymore,
yeah.
But
I haven't been there
no, for
since.
me it was just and it was just like that 2 week span. Like people would come in and be like, "Oh my God, you look like you should go to the hospital." I'm like, "No, it's just allergies," and
Yeah,
I wouldn't have an inhaler, but I would have like the eye drops, the nose spray, and I would take all these pills, and it would do me fine for most of the year. But that like 1 2 week period, I would just get my ass kicked. So
yeah,
you know, it sucked. But
yeah.
anyway, that's life. We got the All-Star game this weekend, and we
NHL's.
also have the All-Star hockey, which is a 4-game little playoff. NBA needs to do that, like NHL, where because there's so much talent now. Guys are getting snubbed left and right. You know, have 4 teams. You break it up, 2 in the East, 2 in the West, and have a little round robin tournament to this to establish your round robin winners, and that way you can really showcase every one of these guys. And not only that, but if you expand it to 4 teams, you can make a rule where, like in baseball, you have to have at least one person from every team. So that way you're at least marketing one player from every single franchise, you know?
Yeah, that'd be really cool. I like that if basketball did that.
Yeah. Yeah, hockey's going to be fun.
Yeah.
I know there was some hockey trades. What else did we miss on? Oh, some coaching hires.
Some coaching hires for the Seahawks, right?
Yeah, so it looks like Belichick ain't going to have a job.
Yeah.
I think he's we brought this up before. I was like, I don't know, maybe those years of Belichick cheating and running up the score on teams. Maybe the teams was like, you know what, Belichick, fuck you. You ain't
Yeah.
getting that all-time wins list because you screwed us over. But business is business, and things are fickle. And he might have to sit out a year, but I think by next year, there will be an opportunity for him.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, especially if he wants to continue. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you got.
Yeah, he'll probably get like a desk job or like a broadcasting job, and it'll be up to him. He probably does because he probably wants to get that coach, the record, for the wins. But I don't know. Like, is the opportunity going to be there to get that? Because if he's going to go to a team, it's going to be to a team that lost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So is he really be able to turn them around? Without Brady. So we'll see.
The Dolphins were like the first team in a long time to fire their coach after a winning season. You know what I mean? And then give a team off that had like potential to make the playoffs. Like.
Well, I mean, Jerry Jones could fire his fucking quarterback, his coach at any point in time. He might even do it like halfway through.
That'd be a winning team for sure. So that's right. It could be. So he could be.
Maybe he's got to wait another year.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't like that. And you know what? He could backtrack. He could be like, you know what? Fuck you, McCarthy.
He can do whatever he wants. You know what I mean? He can say whatever he wants. He's like, oh, well, Bill said that he doesn't want the whole team. He doesn't want the whole power. He just wants to win these games. Okay. You know what I mean? Then he can just go and coach them. And then, like, I don't know, man. The thing I'm starting to think with Bill Belichick is that he does not know how to hire an offensive coordinator. Like, his brain is so defensive minded. He has no idea how to get.
Well, Brady was his offensive coordinator.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
they balanced each other really well. So
yeah, you don't think Tom Brady was like a coach himself out there?
Well, I'm not sure. I don't know. Like maybe Brady will want to be a coach one day, but I'm not sure that that's the right kind of position.
No. I'm not saying Tom Brady to be the coach. I'm saying that Tom Brady was like a coach on the field. Yeah.
Like certain guys, like I thought Peyton would make an excellent coach.
Yeah,
one day.
I think.
I think he really, really would. But because I also feel like he's got the patience. Like Brady was like one of those superstars, like a Michael Jordan, who he couldn't coach because although he's smart, like whoever he's coaching is not going to be able to do it the way that he did it.
Yeah.
So he's not going to be able to. He's not going to be happy with that, and he's going to be like, "You're fucking fired. I fucking hate you."
I feel
like,
that.
Like when you're so great at some point, you're so good that you could do certain things that when you try to coach that into other people, they can't. They don't have the talent or the ability to do it that as well as you did.
Yeah.
They don't have that fire. So they're not gonna. You're not gonna be able to.
Yeah, it's like that mentality. Right. It's like if it's not gonna get done right, I'll just do it myself. It's like he's gonna go back out there and try to play. You know what I mean? It's like,
right. Right.
Like,
so I don't think Brady would be able to, but like I said, Peyton used to make everybody around him better. So that tells me that you could be a good coach because it's not about whether they can do what you did or whatever. It's finding out what their talents are and making them work. So
I think Peyton Manning was probably the smartest player I ever seen in my life.
Yeah, he was awesome. He really was. Yeah. I always said he was better than Brady. From what I saw, but Brady, obviously had the more championships. But and Brady Brady was tough. Like
Yeah.
Brady was really tough as nails. That was, I felt like, his best quality because, like, how he played quarterback, other than being tough, he got the ball out really really quick, and he always had good slant receivers around him. So like, the system was made to make him succeed. But at the same time, like what he did, like putting the ball on in like the perfect spot. Like no, like
Yeah.
he knew what his game was and he played it perfectly and he had the teams around him to win.
Yeah.
But like as far as like physical mechanics and like what he could do, he's not even in my top 3 or 4.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
really isn't. And you don't want to take away from his championships and whatnot, but like his how he worked, like he wasn't throwing the ball 80 yards down the field.
No.
He wasn't hitting a guy in triple coverage like perfect in the numbers. You know what I mean? He wasn't doing that. He wasn't buying time in the pocket and when everything's breaking down and then finding somebody, Dwight Clark in the end zone on his fingertips. No,
Yeah.
he was
No.
coming back and then in 2 seconds, he had the ball out because his slant receiver was already in the spot. And then they're catching it in stride, and then they're going.
Yeah.
That was Tom
Tom.
Brady,
Yeah. Tom Brady didn't start playing. That's how he went to the Bucks when he had Mike Evans. Then he started throwing the ball deeper. You know what I mean? It took him almost his whole
Well,
career
he
to.
also had Randy Moss, and that
Yeah.
year, that year he did. But
Yeah.
they also had a great offensive line, so you could sit back there and he throws it. But it like hitting a wide open receiver deep isn't
No.
necessarily having pinpoint accuracy. You know what I mean? Like,
No. Usually the guy runs under the ball.
right,
It's
like
different.
right. So, like I said, Brady was successful, as a quarterback, but like as his actual like how he played the position, he was not the best ever. Like,
Yeah. Oh no, definitely
like
not.
right
I got.
now it might be Mahomes. And I don't like jumping on bandwagons and liking the new, but Mahomes is just incredible. He plays the position like a point guard,
Yeah.
because he'll throw it underhand, he'll throw it on the side. He's a little less than that, but he's still when he's running, it's because he's extending the play, and he 9 times out of 10 finds that guy. And it's usually Kelsey, but he finds that open guy.
Yeah, there's
So,
a little help to it. Don't get it wrong. Don't get it wrong. Like because I
oh
could
yeah,
go in the backfield right now and just run around and throw the ball, and if it just falls on the fucking ground, you're like, what the fuck were you doing back there? You know what I mean? Like, so like we'll give it to him because he does expand the play for sure. I'm not gonna take away. I'm so tired of seeing the Chiefs. I'm so tired of seeing the Niners too, man. Like in my opinion, this is the worst Super Bowl. But like at the end of the day, like
I don't
Patrick
know.
Mahomes
This is the
just
worst.
runs around. He'll run 15. Dude, I seen him get sacked 25 yards back in the thing against the Dolphins. He doesn't. He's just running. But
Yeah,
the thing is, his arm's so powerful. He can throw 70 yards. He can easy.
yeah, yeah.
So you can run
He's
25 yards back and still pass that shit to fucking Travis Kelsey down there. What do you think? You think they always say, "Oh, Tua had a small arm and he had to underthrow Tyreek Hill"? Go watch Patrick Mahomes underthrow Tyreek Hill multiple times. Like,
Mahomes is he's crazy good, and
yeah, he
he's
is.
part of a great system, and he has a good coach. But
Yeah,
like, eh, I've seen a lot of football. I've seen Marino play.
yeah.
I've seen those guys play in the '80s and '90s, and Mahomes is special, man.
Oh
Before
yeah,
him, Peyton was the one that blew me away, but because of how he changed the game with his audibles, and he just like he knew your defense is better than you did, so like he knew what was going on. But
yeah.
Peyton's biggest problem was he was such a rhythm player that whenever they would get like 12, 13 wins, they would have a first round bye, and then they would
Always.
he like in the first half of the game he'd be out of rhythm and they'd be like missing passes and guys be off. Like they were just so off a rhythm. And then, someone would jump on him early and then they would lose the game. So, that's why he kind of struggled in the playoffs.
Yeah,
'Cause he
because
was
I
such
was
a
I was like,
player.
holy fuck, 14 wins every fucking season, every season.
And then they'd have, they'd rest him at the end of the year and
Yep.
then he rested in the first round and then they would just collapse into it because he was such a rhythm player. And then his second championship, that was like he wasn't even this. He was a shell of himself as a quarterback, but all he needed to do was not turn the ball
Oh,
over.
that was like the worst I ever seen him play in my life. Was that last Super Bowl with Denver? Oh my, I
And
was
that's the
in
thing. Like he was just like what's his face? The one who's their the GM. Why am I drawing a blank?
the
The,
GM.
the yeah, the GM for Denver.
Oh, you're
He was
talking
their
about John
quarterback.
Elway. John Elway.
John Elway, yeah, he was
Yeah,
just like John Elway. John
yeah,
Elway got to the Super Bowl early in his career and lost. He was a shell of himself, but he had an incredible running game and an incredible defense. So he
yeah.
just didn't turn the ball over and made enough plays to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's it. That's
So
what you have to do, man. That's what it is. It's like I don't care how you play, just win.
yeah,
Don't put the ball on the ground. Don't put the ball in someone else's hand and win the game. You know what I mean? I don't care if you have 110 passing yards. If you kept the ball clean, you got us done with the thing. And that just comes back to how important running the ball is. You shouldn't have 400 yards passing every game. You want your
no.
running backs to run. Like that's what they're there for. Like people don't understand that. Like that's why people are
Even though the game changes and like it's all about fantasy and betting and props and all this other stuff, and everybody wants to see everybody throw 400 yards a game. No, the old school football, you run the ball and then you stop the run. That's how you win football games. You just run the ball. That's it.
That's
And
it.
then
Control the offensive line, the defensive line, control those, and you're gonna win.
exactly.
I don't know, man, but yeah, like the Super
I don't know.
Bowl.
Dan Marino was a hell of a quarterback
He
too, man.
was,
That dude,
man. I didn't get to
that
watch
dude,
him that much. I was young.
that dude could like he had probably one of the best, most accurate passers I've ever seen. Like there'd be four people in front of somebody, and somehow he would get it over them and hit it perfectly in the guy's like
Yeah, I watched a
best.
couple of things actually yesterday on Dan Marino. They
Oh
had some clips of him, and he was special. You know what I mean? He was out there like he had a good enough arm to be able to
Montana
put it
was,
over.
but he also had Jerry Rice. So Montana was very similar to Brady, like
Yeah,
very similar. Like, but his blanket was Jerry Rice for all those years. And Jerry Rice. And here's the thing: that was back in the day where receivers were afraid to go over the middle because they were going to get lit up.
yeah,
Jerry Rice went over the middle all the freaking time. But the thing about Jerry Rice was he was so smart and so um, accurate in his route running that
yeah,
he by the time he caught the ball, you never got a chance to like square up on him.
yeah.
Like he was just so good, and like he get the ball and he turn around. Like even if you were gonna tackle him, you like it wasn't back in the day where like they caught the ball and they just got blindsided. Like he caught it before and he turned around and he was already ready
Yeah.
before you even got that chance. And
Well,
then if you missed, and then there was a good chance that you did not make that tackle, and then he was gone for another,
yeah,
for a touchdown.
for sure. But
So
I think the game's evolving though. Like dude, you
oh yeah,
got guys who are 6'6" running 4
oh,
threes. That's stupid.
yeah,
Back in the
yeah,
day,
exactly.
they were working at the grocery store like Kurt Warner, and then they would go and they go play a game. You know what I mean? Like the environment of these guys are like just
Yeah,
ridiculous now. Your
they're
free
huge.
safeties are 230 pounds running 4 threes, and they'll hit you like a fucking semi. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like they
Well,
have
yeah.
to.
Think about it, like the technology and the training today is so complex and so things, and like it's crazy because I know there's a lot of supplements and stuff that you're not allowed to take, but there's a lot of stuff out there that you are allowed to take, and
Yeah,
these guys are taking it, and these weight
yeah,
gainers, protein things, and they, even in high school they have these, we talked about earlier having like someone to prep your meals and like
yeah,
strength training and all these different coaches. They have specific people for this nowadays, and they're getting it in high school. So, like, of
yeah.
course, they're building these like super athletes. So, that's what makes it interesting. And we just sit here and be like, yeah, back in my day, we could do this shit. No, no, because we weren't fucking six. I'm 6'4". I can't run that fast,
No,
and
I I
hit you
ran
like
like a 5'2" in high
uh,
school, and they thought that was, and I was a defensive lineman, so they're like, "Yo, this dude is fast." Now I'm like, dude, I couldn't even wipe the fucking floor with these guys who are running 4 4s at 380 pounds. Like it's crazy, dude. I want to see. I can't remember what it is, but Christian Wilkins, that dude is literally rushing the passer. Then he's 25, 30 yards tackling the receiver. The defensive line guy who's 360 pounds is in the backfield trying to catch the quarterback, and now he's tackling the receiver in multiple plays. Not like he just does it once in a while. Dude, I see him hitting people all the time. Like it's stupid how fucking like that's what I'm saying. Like we always discuss like Michael Jordan and LeBron James. Like the talent was different then. Like those guys were bankers and then they went and played basketball, or these guys were grocery store workers, then they went and played football. So like you have to realize that's why like when we go back into this modern day thing, like, oh, back in the day, that like it doesn't work that way, because like you said, medicine's getting bigger. Like these people are getting weight gainers, and there's something in there's probiotics that are like making these guys ridiculously talented. Like I'm not saying that it's not God's gifted and stuff like that, because it is, but like at
Right,
the
but
end of the day,
we have more ways to develop it. You know what I mean?
yes,
And
for
like,
sure.
like even baseball. Like when I grew up playing baseball in Little League, like we had coaches and stuff like that. Nowadays, it's insane. Like they have pitching coaches and other and like hitting coaches like for Little League, and like
Yeah,
it's not like, hey, a bunch of kids go out and have fun. Like no, there's like
no,
developed advanced scouts and all this other stuff, and it's like we're like 14 years old. Like, no,
you
no, I could potentially do this and this and that, and it's
you
like,
don't
oh
think
my
that a
god,
little scientist, like
oh
somebody
yeah,
that's like that, could literally, if you started like at the pre like that, like little league, it started then, like your dad or your coach has got you in the hitting cage, literally crafting your swing. Then there's a guy that's out there saying, hey, I need you to eat this, and this, and this. That's not only going to make your body metabolism faster, it's going to make your body enhance faster, and you're going to be very, very powerful and fast. You're like, okay. So you start eating it. Like, dude, there's so much
a lot
vitamins
more,
out there.
a lot more advanced than that. Then it's just like, wow, you're a corn-fed motherfucker, aren't you?
Yeah, for
We just
sure.
fucking,
Yeah.
you
Those
know?
those corn-fed guys were good against other corn-fed people, but not the guy that like. Why do you think that
Right
school over
now, we
here?
scientifically broke down the corn to a high-energy protein, fucking DNA, fucking
Yeah,
enhancer.
yeah, no, for sure, for real. It's
Like,
like that, man. Like that IG school, like the image school, whatever, right here in Bradenton or whatever it is, right down the road from us. That like it's always getting like pro athletes in there to work out because it's just so powerful. I've seen interviews with people that go there and do like little day training there, and it's like, oh, come on over here. We got a full time chef. The chef feeds you. Oh, we got a smoothie bar. The smoothie people. Oh, go. And after you're done doing your workout, I actually want you to go talk to our nutritionist. They're gonna get you on a plan. These are like kids. This is not for adults that are already there. This is for like children. They're already getting that into them, and if that's not helping their body, they're lying, because that is literally because they're not making those jackets that have the parachute on the back to make you faster if it wasn't truly making you faster. You know what I mean? They're not putting
yeah.
you on a treadmill that says, hey, run your fastest. You don't see that little thing that said, hey, I was running 18 miles an hour. Well, now I'm running 19 miles an hour. It's only been a week or two. Like, the body is progressively. If you get in that gym and you get in there, you're gonna become super, super. Like, I'm not gonna say you're gonna be running 4.3. That's like Tyreek Hill speed, Devon A. Chance speed, Mostert speed. Those speeds are really gifted. They are like those are gifted speeds. Like anything in the 4.2s, the 4.3s, gifted. But I can see you getting the 4.6s, 4.5 by training your ass off and still being fast as hell. But like those 4.3, that's somebody gave you that. Like you can't get that. That's everybody would train as hard as they could and still would never run that speed. You know what I mean? Like that's the number of people. Like that's why. But yeah, that's too
Oh
funny.
well, we
Yeah.
definitely did not have that gene. So
No. I was fast.
I
I'm
need to go
always.
to the
Yeah.
yeah. We like food too much.
Yeah. No, now I'm losing food. I'm eating, not sponsored, overnight oats. Those are my breakfast now. It's so good. It is good. Have you ever had overnight oats?
No, no.
Mm.
I eat a sausage biscuit every morning, which is
Every
probably
morning.
not the healthiest, but goddamn, it's so good with a little extra cheddar cheese on it.
Oh, so you add a little extra cheese to it. There's nothing wrong with that.
I
It's
gotta
not
add
bad. It.
a
It's
little sausage biscuit with some cheese. It's
it's
just
your
so good.
favorite. Yeah.
My favorite.
I don't eat till like 9 or 10 a.m. I fast from 9 till the next day. So No eating for me. I just wake up, have water,
I
and
think we need to
eat.
talk to a nutritionist. I need
Yeah,
to talk to a
there
nutritionist.
you go. I'm literally eating oatmeal, chicken, and
Walker just
rice.
wants cheese, though.
Yeah, but hey,
Ugh,
as long as you're enjoying, man, like you only got one life. Don't
I
waste it.
know. Don't waste it or
Don't
get
waste it
wasted.
or get wasted. You know what I mean? not not
That's the
to.
choice.
That's the choice, man. It's the what I live by now. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, you only get one life, so don't waste it. But also, you only get one life, so get wasted. You know what I'm saying? So do what you want to do at the same time. You know what I mean? You want to eat that little biscuit,
Maybe
and
we should get wasted and do an episode while we're both fucking hammered.
I
Oh
can
no,
do
I
it.
think the audience would like that.
Yeah, they would. They would laugh. I'll do it. I'm
Drunk,
down. Maybe we'll do it on
drunk
the.
on the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we'll do it on the
Yeah.
Super Bowl. Get drunk on the Super Bowl, and then we'll do the show.
Well, yeah, the game is late, so
Yeah,
you could start. We could start tailgating at 4 o'clock.
yeah. Was it 6:30? 6:30 game.
Yeah,
Yeah. We'll,
exactly.
we'll come on here, man. If we can get to 50 subscribers, we'll go live during the game, and we'll just literally watch the game and be live.
Yeah, we could do our broadcast during the game. We like fuck that play.
Yeah, that's what I would say. That's a fuck both those
Although
teams.
we would get sued from the NFL for licensing because we don't know Taylor Swift, so we can't get those.
Well,
We
we're
can't
not
get.
sure. We're not showing the game. We're just reacting to the game.
Oh, we're just reacting to the game.
Yeah, we're like this, and then we have the game on our TV, and then we're like, oh look, oh fuck, oh Patrick Mahomes just got sacked. He fumbled. Oh, 49ers got the ball. Oh,
Yeah.
49ers fumble, and then we go, oh god, what a stupid Super Bowl. God.
Yeah. Well, let's hope it's not stupid. It probably will be though. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like what's gonna happen is the Chiefs are gonna win. Kelsey's gonna win the MVP, and then he's gonna ask Taylor Swift to marry him in
She's
front of everybody.
in front of
And then the
everyone.
entire Swifties are gonna lose their shit when she
Oh
tells him,
no.
"No, sorry, I'm a Mahomes guy." And then Mahomes' wife will be like, "What?" And then they have a fucking brawl, like fucking wrestling style. And then Mahomes fucking gets choke slammed by Kelsey.
Oh my gosh.
You were my brother, Anakin.
Yeah, next year,
You stole my girl.
not next year, this year coming up, I'm gonna wear a Kermit the Frog outfit with Patrick Mahomes jersey.
Nice.
That's gonna be my outfit. No, I'm gonna talk like the Kermit the Frog. That's how fucking Patrick Mahomes talks.
Oh my god. All right, we got to get going, man.
Yeah, we're
Let's have
out
a
of
nice
here.
long show. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you're listening. Subscribe, subscribe. Tell
Nice.
your friends about us.
Yeah, come
We're
on.
just it.
Stop making
And
us ask. You just do it. No, I'm joking. They need to be told what to do. They love that. They say, we're tired of asking, all right? Don't subscribe. You're going to like and subscribe.
do it.
No, I'm joking.
And tell your famous friends about us so that
Yeah,
way
come
we
on.
can become famous and do
Yeah.
this every fucking day.
Yeah, that's it. We do it
No.
every day no matter what, so it doesn't matter.
That's it.
But yeah, we want to
All
do
right.
it. We want to do it with a bigger audience. So make sure you guys do like and subscribe, and we love you. And we're out. Tell them we're out, John. And 3, 2, 1.
We are out. See you Saturday.